Facebook was Web2 product. Google is a Web2 product. Apple, Amazon, all of these, the big techs are the Web2 product. But the problem was there was a lot of centralization. You do not have the autonomy. You do not have the ownership of your own assets.
Of your own data.
Exactly. Binance, it's a centralized exchange. So they froze the accounts of all the, Palestinians because they were like the terrorists or something. So you do not have the ownership of your own assets. For example, I remember Meta, they sent you the terms and condition that they're going to use your data.
Okay.
And you cannot use this application without agreeing to this condition.
Yeah.
Just like they have the power. AI is super, super scary. It can be super scary. It is still not very mature, I would say, in a sense that it's not very secure. It's not very human aligned. We can use AI to manipulate masses.
If we're experiencing this deterioration in our critical thinking abilities, it makes me very scared about the coming generation that are going to be growing up with these technologies in place.
People do not know how to use these products. They are not even writing their own captions.
Yeah.
Like GPT. And how do I know it? With the dash. With that dash thing.
Will her dash with those emojis? Those emojis on LinkedIn? Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Elastic Connections. I'm your new host Sana, and with me today I have a very special guest, Nabiha Sheikh. Nabiha, it's really nice to have you with us today. Please tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay. Thank you, Sana, first of all, for inviting me. I'm Nabiha. I'm currently working in a blockchain company, Metis. It's a layer 2. And I'm working as a lead AI researcher. So, and I've been working in AI and Web3 for like past 5 to 6 years. So this is me. Also, I am I am a software engineer. So that makes sense. Yeah, that's it. That's my intro.
All right, so that's really good. So tell me a little bit about, it's great that you're a woman in Pakistan and you're in the tech space, in AI, all these emerging technologies, right? But where did you start off from? Were you always interested in tech growing up?
No, I don't think so. I was always interested. I wanted to be a doctor. So, and I was like, but I completely shifted. Like, it was like 180-degree shift, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to be a doctor because that's a very risky space, and if I'm not 100% into it, then I should not pursue it. So then I decided to go for software engineering and like the pre-engineering in my college, and then I just started going with the flow. I'm like, okay, software is good. I was always been curious about all of the things. I'm like, I can do this. One day I'm like, I can be a pilot. And then the second day, I can be a doctor. But then, yeah, I started going with the flow. I'm like, yeah, the tech is good. And then I started, sort of researching on it. And I'm like, yeah, there is a future. And yeah, there was a future, like completely, because the world was um get like there was a complete shift in the world when we started seeing the dot-com bubble, then web 1, web 2. The dot-com bubble was itself a web 1, then web 2. Then I'm like, okay, we have so many new technologies and I'm very pretty curious about it. So then I started, doing
So why tech and nothing else?
yeah. So I had two options. Um, or I can say three options. There was architecturing, there was MBA, because every single person, BBA, sorry. So every single person was doing the BBA.
Yeah,
Like,
that's like
if
you don't know what to do, do that.
do that, exactly. There was BBA, there was CMA. On the business side, I was really into like business sort of stuff. So, and the third one was software engineering. Um, the reason I chose software engineering or the tech it's in general, I'm like, yeah, it's a new thing.
It's a new thing.
Yeah, nobody's like going over there. Everyone was going on the business.
So were a lot of people around, like, around you, your friends going into tech at that time?
No.
Okay.
So my background, sorry, my group was into like medical.
Uh-huh.
Everyone was going to the medical field, and I was the only one in, the software or the tech side. So when I got into the university or in college, I made very good friends, and they're very good people. But yeah, nobody from my previous group in tech.
Got it. All right. So how was it, like, not knowing a lot about tech and starting your degree in it? So for my personal experience, I also got into tech. I was also pre-medical, all right. And then in university, I switched. So there was a lot of anxiety about, oh, I might be a bit left behind. Did you feel those kind of emotions?
I did, yes, because when you're doing this software engineering specifically, or just engineering, okay, computer engineering or software engineering. So there are a lot of people who are into the coding and stuff.
Yeah. And they've been coding. You see people that have been coding since they were born, like out of the womb. And then
Exactly. And I'm like, I don't belong here. And I'm like, it was so tough for me. It was very, very difficult because I kind of felt that this is not my thing. I should not do it. And there was this constant, fear and everything. And then I, you know, I didn't do the coding. I switched my career, and because I had the conceptual knowledge of technology, I knew everything about the how the tech works, what's the infra, the technical concept, the architectures, and everything. You don't always have to understand. You don't always have to do the coding. There are a lot of different things which we were not taught
yeah.
back then. Yeah, the teachers were like, "Oh, you don't know how to code. Oh, how you're gonna get, graduated from this university." I'm like, no, I am going to do a lot of stuff without knowing how to do the coding. But I could still do the coding. That's not like
Yeah.
because I
It just wasn't something that you
that I
were
was
very passionate about.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that is something really interesting that we can touch on, that tech and software is a very large field. There's a lot of domains in it. You don't necessarily have to go into coding. There's this bias in, like, in universities and in our industry as well, that if you're in software engineering, you have to code.
Exactly.
And there's this pressure about it as well, and people make fun of you as well. How was that, like, in university for you, like from your peers and your teachers?
Well, nobody made fun of me. To be very honest, the people were very, very supportive.
All right.
My friend was like there for me. The other friend was like, "Oh, it's fine. Just there's a few syntax and that's it." But when I was in like second year of my university, the third semester, I started because I was always passionate about doing my own business,
Hmm.
like starting my own startup or sort of thing. So like I have to do something. Then you know, I bought an office. I rented a space actually, and I hired a few bunch of people from my class, and um, I was like, let's not go with the the current market. There's website designing, there is logo designing. Everyone was doing this specific thing, their application designing. I'm like, let's try something new. So it was a data entry sort of a job, which is very typical, very, very typical.
Yeah.
Like a very saturated market. And I wanted to, do something different, try something different. So I had a bunch of people and I started doing it, and it was like a very big failure. Like the whole investment. Um sab doob gaya. But it was an experience for me.
It was a learning experience. You
Exactly.
learned from your failures, and I think it's really great that you were courageous enough to do that in your second year. I think that's really applaudable.
Yeah, exactly. So and after, that step, that experience,
Hmm.
everything was really smooth for me. So I'm like, I don't have to go where everybody else is going. And with the people I have in my family and everyone, they're like super supportive, super supportive. I'm like, I can do things. So there was no pressure. There was nothing like financial pressure or societal pressure. My parents are like super chill about it. Anything. Like I'm like, Baba, I don't want to do this. And he was like, okay. Baba, I want to be a pilot. Okay. Baba, I want to do this. He's like, okay. Mother is like super, super chill and she's very, very supportive. So so I had the right people around me.
You had a support system.
Exactly. So and then I, started working in a software company when I was again in like second year or okay. Yeah, whatever it's portfolio. Okay. So in my second year I started like actual job and was not an internship. So and after that job I joined.
What were you working as?
I was in the business analyst. Oh, yeah. I was a business analyst and then head of sales and marketing. And then I don't remember correctly. There are like so many roles. Um, and then I was something like product head sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was 1.5 year I worked there. And after that, I switched from like that company. It was called SkyQuest and to Exord. So Exord is the place that changed like the whole thing, everything. So
Okay.
yeah, it's the place I will always remember my whole life. I met beautiful people. I met amazing people over there. I saw an amazing culture. Everybody knows about the startup culture, the corporate culture, and everybody knows about the specific things. Startup, the corporate is 9 to 5,
Yeah.
the hierarchy and everything. The startup is super chill,
Yeah. You
super
play games and you're
yeah, you wear shorts and they eat these kind of stuff. But they also exploit.
yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
are you guys a startup?
We're not a startup, but yes.
But yeah, the startup culture. So they do say that there is a flexibility, there's flexible culture and everything, but they do exploit a lot because you have to work, many shifts, many different hours
You have to be available at
all
odd
the
hours as well. Yeah.
all the time. So there's like no boundary in a startup culture, and in the corporate culture there is a boundary. You can like draw a straight line, but the hierarchy is like super super difficult for you to climb. So yeah, I when I got into Exord, I was the sales executive because I was in third year of my university. Um, when I got into that office, that place, it was the first company in Pakistan that was working on blockchain.
Ooh.
So everything was so new for us. Everything we did not have the right talent. We did not have the leads which we could look up to, and like everything was super challenging for us. But the only good thing was the market was ready. There was the demand. Like everybody wanted to build an application in blockchain and Web3. There was super, exciting narrative. There was hype in like blockchain, Web3 narrative.
All these buzzwords going
All
around.
these buzzwords. Nobody knew what blockchain was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Web3 was. And even when I got into Exord, I did not know anything about blockchain. So I, read a bit about what's DLT, the distributed ledger technology, what's blockchain. It's simply, distributed ledger that
Mhm.
provides you, basically a database management system, sort of, but a transparent one, a decentralized one, more secure. So so when I started learning, I'm like, oh, I do understand all of these stuff, and the underlying infrastructure is very beautiful. So there's like the applications which are currently being built on top of blockchain are actually going to revolutionize the tech, the fintech, the all different kinds of niches. So I was super excited when I started learning about it because when things are new for you,
Hmm.
you're like, oh, and when once you start understanding the concept,
Understanding
like
it.
actually
Yeah.
understanding the concept, it's like, okay. So then I started as the business development officer, yeah, the sales executive sort of thing, and then after 4 to 5 months, I was promoted to chief business development officer, one of the senior staff or in the leadership sort of roles.
How was it being a student in university and having this amazing sort of career going on for you? Was it, were all your peers also having this kind of experience in university, or was it you?
Not just me. I have like three friends in my university. That's the whole like us four, and two of them were in the same
Oh,
company.
that's nice.
I'm
That's
like,
nice.
like two of my best friends were there. So I'm like, I was super like convenient, and I was super happy there because you have your people, you
Yeah.
have the interesting technology.
You can learn and fail together with them. That's
Exactly.
amazing.
That's what we did. Again, this support system was there for me, and we like all of us helped each other grow. There were multiple challenges. So the major challenge was we did not have the right talent in Pakistan, so we had to build the talent.
All right.
So it kind of became like a school because we were teaching all
All
of
right.
the
So you were
years.
teaching people
Yeah.
to
To
build
develop.
this,
Yeah,
to
exactly.
build these skills in these new emerging technologies.
Exactly.
All right.
So we opened sort of a vertical in Pakistan,
Mm-hmm.
which was not there, which was like nobody even had the courage to start.
Yeah.
And we built this whole thing, the whole playground where people were, trying and breaking and building stuff and all of that thing. So it was amazing experience for me, and I got into amazing, much difficult, more like important roles in Exord. But then I took an exit from that company. I was, later on, I was the co-founder of one of the products, and the product was in fintech, not fintech, sorry, DeFi. So
DeFi
is the decentralized finance.
decentralized
Exactly.
finance.
So it's like it's the same finance, but sort of like more distributed kind of a nature
Okay.
and more secure, more like community focused. So everybody could, collaborate and,
So what is it that makes decentralized finance decentralized?
the technology, the underlying technology, okay, the blockchain itself is the underlying infrastructure that is sort of like, when people start talking about the application, the, new technologies and everything, and they start focusing on they start focusing on the let's start from the, why blockchain, why Web3.
Yeah.
So the the most important thing about Web3 is it's the web. It's not Web3. It's not Web2. It's not Web1. It's just a web with, some enhancements.
Hmm.
So Web1 was just read only.
Hmm.
Okay. Then when you get to the web,
Read only, like those static websites that we have.
not the website. Nothing. You
Okay.
could not build a website. Read only means you could only send an email. You can only send something, and you cannot tamper, you cannot
Interact.
change, you
All
cannot interact. Exactly.
interact with.
So you just read it and then you respond. And then the Web 2 was read and write. So you could write the stuff, you can build application. We got so many applications on Web 2, the traditional ones. Then, but the problem was with the Web 2 was the Facebook was Web 2 product, Google is a Web 2 product, Apple, Amazon, all of these, the big techs are the Web 2 product. But the problem was there was like a lot of centralization. You do not have the autonomy. You do not have the ownership of your own
Own
assets.
of your own data.
Exactly. So, if there is a bank application or just an application, you have your money in it. They hold the money. You're not the custodian. They are the custodian. So they can anytime they can turn that application off. They can,
Freeze your assets.
freeze your assets.
Yeah.
Exactly. One thing, the recent example was the, Binance. It's an application.
Yeah.
It's a centralized yeah, exchange. So they froze the accounts of all the, Palestinians because they were like they're terrorists or something. So you do not have the ownership of your own assets. That was the problem. That was the major problem. And nobody knew
Yeah.
that this was a problem. Then there was this, whole underlying infra, the DLT, then on top of it, the DAC, directed acyclic graphs, blockchain. There are multiple cryptographic technologies. Blockchain got the hype because it's an open infrastructure.
Hmm.
Everything is open source.
Yeah.
So, for example, you build an application, everybody could see what's the code behind it, everything. What are the terms and conditions in reality? When you see the terms and conditions, you really don't know that if the terms and conditions are true,
Yeah.
are right, or if they cannot be tampered, like in future, or is it really the actual terms and conditions you're seeing? So you do not have the right. For example, I remember Meta, WhatsApp, I think. Um, they sent you the terms and condition that your data they're going to use your data,
Okay.
and you cannot use this application without agreeing to this
Yeah.
condition.
Yeah.
So it's like they have the power. Everything is in, they hold it.
I think a lot of people are not concerned of that either. Like you said, that people don't know about this because they're simply not concerned. They're like, why is my data so precious? So can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it also have a sort of a, what do I say, a fear, I would say. So for example, if I have my money in the bank or
Hmm.
in a centralized application, if that application gets hacked, if that bank gets dropped, I can still claim my money,
Hmm.
everything, okay? And I'll be like, okay, you were the holder, I gave you my money, so you'll be the one providing me back, okay?
Yeah.
And the in the decentralized application, when you're the custodian and when there is no single party,
Hmm.
you cannot just go to one person and say, okay, your application's been hacked, but give me my money back. You cannot say that because
Okay.
they cannot. They don't have the power. They don't hold the power. So this is like the, something. क्या बोलते हैं I forgot the fourth. So
Is it sort of like contradictory? Is it?
sort of a contradictory, upside of it, or the downside of being the custodian and not having a single party holding everything and holding the power. But again, there are so many more important things that we should have. The first and foremost is the
Ownership.
then the transparency. So for the fintech company and for the fintech products and all of that stuff, you should have the transparency.
Hmm.
You should know where what's the trail. So for example, if there's a product in like supply chain, let's talk about supply chain. So if there's a product and we do not know the trail of that product, where it's been harvested, where it's been, being processed, where it's gonna get the packaging and all of
Yeah.
that stuff. So you need the transparency. That is what's like, that's my right to know if I'm consuming that specific product. It's the same thing in fintech. I need to know the trail. I need to know the, each and every step that's happening. So this is also important. Then there is security. There is decentralization. That's very important. Like I told you, the centralized party that holds the power. So when the power is distributed among people, the multiple people,
Hmm.
that's like more decentralized way of handling things. But again, it has its own issues.
Yeah.
Not every application needs the decentralization. Not everything needs the decent. So you have to have some, decentralized manner in a sense that the people who can make the right decision should have the power, but not just one person. There there could be multiple people.
Hmm.
That also could be a decentralized nature.
Hmm.
Not every single person has to have a say in application, in like development or the roadmap and everything. So it's like very contradictory things, and very contradicting nature of decentralization. Where is it needed? How much is it needed? So that's a whole different side of it.
I
Yeah.
agree. That's quite interesting. But I think that it can be summed up in like, being more conscious
Yeah.
about your data, about the products that you're consuming
Yeah.
as well, and just taking ownership of those, right? That I have a sort of question about this. What about social media, right? What would a decentralized social media look like? Is that something that is out there?
Yeah. There are like multiple, again, there are multiple infras for social networks, for
Right.
social applications where you're like, if you're a content creator, if you're a digital artist,
Mm-hmm.
you should, have the ownership of that specific piece.
Hmm.
And if somebody is using and getting paid for it, okay. So for example, um, you're seeing a you're seeing an advertisement,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And let's talk about Facebook. So 98%, I think, their revenue generation is from the advertisement.
Yeah.
Okay. We are the one who is watching all those ads. We are the one that's gonna make the decision of buy that specific thing.
Right.
Okay. And they are cashing on our intention.
Yeah.
This is our intention that's being cashed by Facebook. Okay. So we should also be the one getting paid.
Yep. I mean, we're using their services, but
Yeah.
like we're the product itself, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So, you're seeing an advertisement, you're seeing an ad. The Facebook is charging that party that launched that specific ad. They're charging that party,
Hmm.
and we are buying that product. And obviously, from our amount, they're getting the revenue
Like,
generation, and that revenue is going towards Facebook.
Hmm.
We are not getting anything. The one who has the right intention and or the right targeted audience, we do not have anything. Let's talk about the digital creator or content creator.
Hmm.
Anybody could use your content.
Yeah.
Anybody can repost your picture or these kind of stuff,
Hmm.
but you do not get paid.
Yeah.
So there are like multiple social platforms in Web3 that provides you the ownership of your specific content. So you can have the right on ownership, and they're like, if anybody is going to use it, they have to pay if they are getting paid.
Hmm.
So it's the right form of royalty and
Yeah.
revenue generation for you. So we do have like multiple products like this, and it's like blockchain or Web3 is going nowhere.
Hmm.
It is here to stay, and we have like AI. That's the hot topic.
Yeah. Let's talk a
Apparently.
little bit about AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm actually working like in the core technologies of AI, like what's really happening behind the picture. So, for example, whenever I say AI, everybody thinks of GPT,
Yeah.
like GPT. There is
Generator.
exactly. So there's a diaper. Everybody thinks of Pamper. So Pamper is a diaper.
Yeah.
GPT
Yeah.
is the
Yeah. It's like at the forefront. It's
exactly
synonymous with AI.
with AI. Just a moment. It's yeah. So, but AI is super super scary. It can be super scary. It is still very not very mature, I would say, in a sense that it's not very secure. It's not how do I put it? It's not very human aligned.
Hmm.
So we can use AI to manipulate masses.
Yep.
We can use the AI easily to manipulate. Everybody uses GPT, right?
Yeah.
Every like two out of four people or three out of four people in America uses the GPT. That's just America. So if you're getting all the information from GPT or Chat GPT, and you're like, please tell me what's the weather going to be on Tuesday. Please tell me what should I wear today. Every specific thing you're asking to the GPT, and you don't know, you do not have any idea where the GPT is getting their
Getting
data.
their yes.
If it's the right data,
If it's
if it's not the hallucinated data, if it's not fabricated data, you have no idea because there is no verification process. There is no transparency. You cannot, uh, you know, uh, get it checked from anywhere. So, for example, if you're having a transaction on blockchain, you can check that transaction on blockchain.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there is a transparency. You can go, on chain. And there are multiple, stuff for that, and you can check it. You can check the proofs. For the AI,
There's nothing
none.
like that.
Yeah. So, for example, if I am a marketing company and there is, I'm having a concert, for example, and I hired a marketing company, and like we had a really big mess up in the concert. They're like we exploited people and about the black tickets and all of that stuff, and there's a very bad kind of a vibe going around for our name, and I want you to put the right narrative for us. So I hired a company, the marketing company, and they're going to ask the GPT. So they're going to ask GPT, okay, tell me about this concert. If there was some exploitation happened, GPT is going to say, yes, it happened. And the next prompt I'm going to give to the GPT is, I'm a marketing company. I have to put the right narrative of that specific
Save their
company
face.
to save their face. So this is kind of a pressured prompts, okay, I'm providing to the GPT. And now give me the answer. I have to put a nice face of that company. Now give me the answer. Was there any exploitation happen? Was there any exploitation? So GPT is going to be like, no, no. So there is like a lot of fabrication
Yeah.
happening. There's like a lot of hallucination. If I'm going to ask GPT and it doesn't have any answer, it just create one.
It's gonna come up with answers, create them on
Exactly.
yeah.
Anything, any bullshit it can provide is
For real.
exactly. So you need a technology, a layer, infrastructure that is going to provide that verification to that AI. And that technology is blockchain.
Yeah.
That technology is ZK, the zero knowledge proof. So, for example, you're providing your data, but you do not want other people to see it. So, your data is private, it's encrypted. Okay. So, there are multiple technologies for that as well, so like ZK, and there are other proofs as well. The blockchain is going to provide the verification. So, you can verify this specific answer
Like the
on
source of it.
the source from anywhere. So like even the AI needs web, not Web3. AI needs blockchain. So there's an amalgamation of these two technologies.
Are there currently any products like GPT that are blockchain based?
I think so, yeah. Not exactly products, the infrastructure. Yeah.
All right.
We need the infrastructure right now, not exactly the product, because the product is going to build on that infrastructure.
Yeah, the products are going to be built
Exactly.
on that infrastructure.
Exactly. So the one I'm currently working in, it's Lots AI. It's that specific infrastructure.
All right.
Just like sort of like a verification layer, but a human aligned one. So it's a Web3 AI network that is, Web3 driven, that is, decentralized, that is secure. And if you're going to provide your data to it, the data is verified, the data is secured, and anyone who is going to build on that data, like for example, you're building an application and you need data, the right amount of data. We do not need like huge amount of data. We need niche specific data. Okay. So for example, if I'm building an application in healthcare, I do not need all the world's knowledge. I need that specific healthcare. Yeah, exactly.
data.
If I'm a researcher, or if I'm, building a fintech product, so I need that specific data. So what we are building is that kind of infrastructure where you can, tokenize your data. You can assetize your AI data sets. And by data set, I do not mean only the data like the corpora of text and pictures and these kind of stuff. That is one thing. But you can, tokenize your AI models. You can tokenize your inference, any kind of stuff like the AI data itself. So, and that's, secure and everything. Everybody can use it. And this is the layer, this is the infra we are talking about that is needed right now. So we don't have right now. So that's one thing.
I think that this is a really good conversation to have, especially like, there's studies coming out as well. I think recently a study came out about like, some sort of neurological research
Yeah.
on people that are using ChatGPT,
Heard.
and like their brain circuitries, like it's going down, and all of those ECGs and stuff like that.
Exactly. Your cognitive ability.
Yeah, your cognitive abilities are like deteriorating because you're relying on ChatGPT for the most simplest things.
Exactly. And because you are trading short term benefit with the long term benefit.
Yeah.
So you're like, you will get the productivity.
Yeah.
Your 2 hours or 3 hours work is gonna get like get can be
Short.
done in like
Yeah.
15 minutes. Okay. But your processing is gonna get decreased by 49%, I think they stated. So that is terrifying.
That is
I'm
terrifying.
like, this is horrible. And people do not know how to use these products. They're like, in every specific thing, they are not even writing their own captions.
Yeah.
Like GPT. And how do I know it? With the dash, with that dash thing.
Will her dash with those emojis? Those emojis on LinkedIn?
Oh, yeah, exactly. You're like, you can write all these stuff. You are able to do it, but you're like relying on to that third party, and you're giving your mental capacity and mental, processing power to that specific product, and you're fine with it, but it's gonna get, you're gonna get hurt in the future if you're not using it strategically.
I mean, if we currently, like, using ChatGPT and stuff, if we're experiencing this deterioration in our critical thinking abilities, it makes me very scared about the coming generation
Yeah.
that are going to be growing up
Exactly.
with these technologies in place.
Exactly. But I think it's part of the cycle.
It is.
Yeah. So if, we are facing these kind of problems, we will come up with a solution.
Yeah.
So this is the way it works. This is how the world works. If there is a study, I think it was from Harvard. Yeah. Harvard study on NLMs. So if there's a study, people know about it, how scary it can be, right, in future. So we will try to minimize the usage. We will try to, use it more strategically. So for example, if I'm working in a product and I want to write a proposal, let's say, for a company, I will use the GPT because that is, saving me a lot of time. But how am I going to use it? I will ask the GPT to give me all the information so I don't have to go to 5 or 6 or
Yeah.
7 places or tabs. So there is a single place where I can get all the information I need, and then I will try to draft a proposal for that company. So I'm not providing my cognitive ability or my processing power to that specific product.
Yeah.
I will use it strategically. So that's how, we will get more information for it. We will get, because the demand has been
Yeah.
created by the Harvard, Harvard University. And now there will be multiple companies working on it. This is how the market works.
Yeah, I think we can't stop the proliferation of AI. It is good. It does improve efficiency, and it also makes knowledge more accessible to a lot of people,
Yeah.
right? However, I think regulations need to be put in place for this. That's really important. We saw it with the Facebook thing as well, with Meta.
Yeah.
Accountability needs to be taking place, and decentralized all of these technologies that we have. I think you would say that this is something that, like, can be married together with all of these AI technologies that are coming in place, so that we can um reduce or mitigate the risks that are associated with it.
Exactly. And enhance the, functionalities of
Enhance the
yeah,
functionality.
the infrastructure. Because Web3 needs AI, AI needs Web3. It's like this stuff. So yeah.
All right, that's really good. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about AI Web3, and, like, you're a researcher in this space. What do you think about other people in this space that are sort of pioneering this in Pakistan?
In Pakistan, I'm actually not sure because I'm mostly working in the, the global
All right, all
side,
right, all right.
and there are like multiple companies. I'm not sure about Pakistan, like where it currently stands. I and I saw one event. I don't remember. There was Super Solana sort of a thing. So Solana is one of the blockchains.
Yeah.
And we have a community of, Solana in Pakistan. That's a good thing. We need more communities. Like we need, more educational institutions. We need more, companies that are taking this initiative of, educating people about AI and
Blockchain.
blockchain. Because people for the blockchain, I think people, the new generation thinks that okay, it's been 6 years or 8 years since the blockchain got here, and it's too late for us. We cannot get into it, so we're like just dive into the AI. We're gonna dive into this thing. No, you should know the basics first. Then these technologies or these spaces are still very mature. They need the people, and we have the right talent. Pakistan has the most amazing talent. And why am I saying it? I met a lot of people like in US and like even in Singapore, and a lot of the people thinks remotely. They're like multiple people. And I talk to a lot of people and they're like Pakistan is enriched with the talent. They have the right mindset. They're curious enough. Like we need that curiosity in our product. So I have like one friend. Um, he's working on a remote startup that is in maybe Canada, I think. And there, I talked to that team, and that team was like, "I love that guy. I love that." I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "He is always curious to make things better." He's like, I have a lot of developers who are working on the the front end and the back end, and they're like, they'll just get their work done.
Yeah,
That-
just get the job done.
Just get the job done. And the Pakistani people are, he doesn't know why. He was just curious. They're like, why do you guys are so curious about making things better? Why do you guys have so many suggestions, so many feedbacks? So like, yeah, we're just,
I think it's also because when we get an opportunity to work in spaces like these, we're very grateful for it,
Yeah.
and we want to make the best out of it.
Exactly.
And I think that's a really good thing to have. And
Exactly.
like you said,
And
the talent needs to be nurtured that way.
And exactly, and we do have the right values to work in a company. So we have a lot of freelancers and these kind of people, but to work in a company, you must need some values. Okay, we do have all of that thing, and it's just one thing that I constantly tell other people, our young generation, please do not think of yourself that you're not going to get the right place, like get into the right place, and or you're not built for it. You have the right talent. You can do all of the things that you're seeing the other Gora person doing. So you should go for it. You should take the risk. We do not take the risk because we are like so underconfident.
Yeah.
We think of ourselves that um because we did not have the right privilege, or we did not have the right environment that that the other people had, and we just underestimate us a lot. And this is one thing. I just all of the other people I'm working with, all my friends, are working with the Bahar Ki Log. They're all the same,
Yeah.
exactly same. Or at some points you're a lot, you're way better than them by the talent, by the curiosity. Just so many things are better. You just have to take the risk. That's it.
I'm glad we're talking about this because I do think that it is more like a mental barrier that we've built within ourselves. And if we're able to break that down, we have a world of possibilities and opportunities for us. So, what would you suggest? What are some ways to build self confidence?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think just don't wait for the opportunity. Start doing it. If you have the idea, if you like, you're thinking about something. Okay, let's say the new hype around AI. You have a lot of ideas, and you're like, I have to build a right pitch first. I have to build the right business model first. I have to make the perfect deck first. Okay, the perfect architecture. You don't need perfection.
Hmm.
You just, you know, put your thoughts on the paper and start doing it. Take the risk. Go in the world, start announcing it, meet new people and just meet people. This is one thing that changed my life completely when I, started traveling, meeting a lot of people, in different regions, different countries, and you'll get so much confidence in yourself, and you'll be like, okay, because there are a lot of stories. Nobody had the right amount of support, the right amount of money, or everything you need to start a business, or everything you need to start, doing something good, something big. They took the, many steps.
Hmm.
They're like, okay, let's talk to that person first. Okay, let's get that money from here. I don't get the if you're not able to get something from somewhere, okay, let's try a different route. Let's try a different route. Just, you know, be okay with, you know, with the failures you're going to face in your life. Just be okay with it. And if I'm going to tell you, you don't know that if I am 10 failures away from success, if I am
Hmm.
100 failures away from success, if you knew the specific, amount of failures you're going to face before getting the success, you will try to fail.
Yeah.
Like, you'll get super eager to fail. So that's one thing. Just be eager to fail. Like, I want to fail. That's it. This is one thing.
That's really, really, I think, insightful, and I do agree with it as well. I think if we had more of the courage to go after the things that we have, you don't have to. I think that's something that we stop ourselves by, like, criticism and rejection that sort of holds us back from achieving our goals. And I think your point about, like, being eager to fail is something that's great. And a lot of people, like, all these what do we say, like Steve Jobs, all of these people, like, all these people that have done amazing things in their life, right? They've always talked about failures are necessary for success. And I think as a nation,
Mm.
we need to embrace failure a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really insightful. Okay, we've talked a lot about Web3, AI, and all of these things. There's something interesting that you said when you said that you started traveling and it opened your mind and, like, built this mindset in you. So, how has that been? As a woman, I think we are not, even for men, traveling and, like, going after your passions is not something that is prioritized in our society.
Yeah.
So let's speak on that a little bit.
Okay. So yeah, one thing, like I told you, that I have always been curious about things in general. Like, if I want to know about science or art, I am a painter also. I am a singer.
Sorry.
So I'm like, I'm um just a Instagram singer. No, I'm singer. So I'm like curious about all of the things. I want to try this. I want to try this sport. I want to learn swimming. I want to learn yoga, and all of the things. Just be curious.
Hmm.
And with that curiosity, I started traveling. Um, I love mountains. I love mountains. I'm like, there's this urge to visit the northern side of Pakistan. They're beautiful people. And when I said you have to meet people, not the tech people only. You have to meet the different people, different than you, the who are living in a different kind of a dynamics, who are
Hmm.
living in a more better condition, or a lot not better condition. So you just have to meet them to get their opinions, to know about those people, their journey. It's so soothing. It's gonna change your mindset. It's gonna open your mind. It's gonna um sorry, build different perspectives in your lives. Okay, so I went to Hunza. I met beautiful people in Hunza. I'm like, they're the best people in the world. Then I went to Singapore. I'm like, they're the best people in the world. So in Singapore, I went to a tech event. It was, I think, token 2049. So it's a Web3 event. But the locals were beautiful. The locals were very composed. They are not capitalist. They're like, they're super chill. They're not in hurry. They'll talk to you as a person, not as an opportunity or as a business. So there's a human connection in Singapore. So you'll see it and you'll realize, okay, so maybe all the money and all the the race I am in is not like that much important to you. So there's a different kind of a perspective that is being built in your mind. Then I went to Dubai. It's a beautiful it's a beautiful state, but mm, they
Extremely capitalist.
ex- they're like they just worship the money. That
Yeah.
if you have the money, they will give you the respect, and if you don't have the money, then it'll be like just another person, just another being,
Yeah.
not even a human.
All right.
So they're like, but you will find like the right people over there, well, but it's the the culture I'm talking about, and also you cannot find the nature in Dubai. So
That's true. It's like a
gone.
concrete jungle.
It's a big workspace. Dubai is the like largest workspace in the world, so I just call it a workspace. The the US people are like, okay,
Okay.
okay, they're good, they're good.
No comment.
No comments. So, but you'll you know get exposed to different stories. You'll get exposed to different uh perspectives, opinions. I met a person when it was my first time in Hunza, and it was the middle-aged guy. He told me that his house was destroyed in the Balakot, the flood in 2007, I think. And he was like, I'm perfectly fine. He was so composed. That guy was so, you know, um, chill with his life. His house got destroyed. Everything in that house was destroyed, but because there was no importance of that material. He's like, I'm doing great. I'm living my life here. I have the nature, I have the mountains. I can live anywhere. So, you'll meet different people, you hear different stories, and it's just, it's very necessary for you. It's very necessary for you.
Yeah, I think if you get out of your head a little bit, our problems can sort of
Disappear. Yeah.
yeah, if
Right.
you meet people, you listen to their stories as well. It gives you courage as well, and sort of um takes your head away from all the problems that you're facing. Traveling as a woman in Pakistan, would you travel alone? Were you traveling with friends?
I traveled alone and I traveled with friends. To be very honest, I did not face that kind of, situation which usually women, face.
Or maybe there's this perspective of because a lot of families say that you cannot travel alone because it's unsafe and all of these things.
It is unsafe.
Hmm.
I'm not saying it's not unsafe. When I traveled by a bus, um, the places were very very dangerous and very very unsafe for women. But I had a lot of people, like a lot of colleagues from my office, so it was like super safe for us. They were providing the security, so I did not face that that moment which usually women see. But there is an very 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 unsafety when you're traveling alone in Pakistan
Hmm.
and anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world.
Not Singapore. So
Not Singapore, yes, of
I love
course.
it. And Dubai. Dubai is also the safest country for
Women.
yeah. You can travel alone, and the infrastructure and everything is super convenient for you. So it's like very easy for a single person to travel. But in US, there are a lot of scammers. Turkey, a lot of scammers. Very unsafe. Um, what was that? Thailand, very unsafe. Extremely unsafe. So it's not just Pakistan.
It's not just Pakistan.
Yeah. So you'll go around the world and there's a suspicious kind of a man looking at you and you'll get scared. So that happens everywhere.
Yeah, that is true. That does happen everywhere. I I wish we would focus more on, like, what you can do to avoid being in situations like that. And if rather than, like, stopping yourself
Exactly.
from going to these places,
Exactly.
I think we need to own those spaces, but be educated of the risks so that we can protect ourselves rather than just locking ourselves in our home and denying ourselves the opportunities of, like, everything that you said, like, opening up your mind and, like, expanding your perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
That's true.
Okay, bringing the conversation back um into our past. Not your power, but okay. Um I love that we've talked about your entire journey, right? What is one moment that you can remember where you were like, all right, I think I've made it and I think this is where I want to be in your career?
Hmm. Let me think. I think that moment is yet to come.
Is yet to come.
Yeah. Oh, I have very big goals. Like big goals. It's just the start of my career, to be
All
very
right.
honest. And yeah, there were amazing moments when, I traveled with my family to Saudi Arabia for like Umrah.
Hmm.
And it was amazing moment. I'm able to enjoy with my family. I have the time freedom
Hmm.
that I always wanted. You're always like, we need the financial freedom. We want to get free from the financial burden, and you should have the passive incomes, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you need the time freedom. You'll be you should be able to enjoy the moment. You don't have all that thoughts of, okay, I have to do this, I have to do that. There's a call that's scheduled, in 3 hours, all that kind of stuff. You have to be in that moment. So when I was in Saudi with my family, I had that specific moment. I was super relaxed. I was just in the moment and traveling with my family, eating a lot of, Arabic food with the kunafa and all that stuff. But I really enjoyed that trip. And all the other trips, I obviously enjoyed, but it was tech events, and there was a lot of office work. There was calls and meetings, meeting the investors and partners, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But that specific trip was the one trip for me. And I think the moment you asked me that, that is still yet to come. Yeah.
All right. That brings me to my next question.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 4 years? What are you hoping for?
Okay. Okay. That's a good question. I think I have thought about it, but keeps you know, changing, and with the different um the world dynamics, with
Hmm.
all that stuff, with the current global world situation.
Yeah.
I don't think I see myself in the world, but
Oh my God,
the
that's
condition.
dark, but yes.
Heck, but yeah, that's the joke aside. Um, where do I see myself? Um I see myself in a place that's free from all the drama, all the hassle and all that stuff. I don't see myself in a specific position.
Hmm.
Like, okay, I'll be in the big tech company or things like that. I will be at a place that is secure, and that is happy, and I have the freedom of time to enjoy the moments, because I'm currently, at the age that I should start my family, and I should start, giving more time to my family, because my parents are getting older, and my sisters are getting married and all that stuff. I need the time with those people that means a lot to me, with my friends and all these kind of people. So if I have the um right amount of financial assets, and the side businesses and everything, I'm in a secure place, in a happy place with the people I love. So that's the thing.
Make your money work for you so that
Exactly.
you can have the
But
time and the space to focus on the things that are the most
everything.
important in your life. That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay. So,
Hmm.
what is something that you would say, a few pieces or words of advice to anyone that is getting to, like, looking into, getting into Web3, getting into AI, getting into tech at this
Mhm.
point in time?
Okay. So, to the people.
Yeah, to young people, to fresh graduates, to anyone in school.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so the only advice, start experimenting with the stuff.
Hmm.
Start experimenting. Don't be afraid of failure. Uh, everybody, everybody gets failed. That's the normal cycle of a human, experiences. Just experiment with all the stuff, you're passionate about. Be curious. Ask questions. Ask a lot of questions. Don't be afraid to ask stupid questions. We have a product that's never going to judge you, GPT. Ask all the stupid questions. Ask everything to to the person you think is well, qualified for that specific question or has the right experience. Go to that person, get advice, start doing something with your life. We have everything available on internet, literally everything. If you want to, be an architecture, if you're like super passionate about it, you can be. You can, you have the right information. You can talk to the right person online. You have like all the accessibilities available. So just, get yourself into that space, get yourself exposed with all that information and start, asking the right question, asking the right questions, going to the right people, getting to the, um, to the point where you start experimenting with all this stuff and don't be afraid of failures. That's it.
That's amazing. And I think those are really good uh, pieces of advice. All right. It was so nice talking to you, Nabiha, and digging your brain in so many different directions. And it was amazing having you, speaking to you. And I hope that our conversation is helpful to whoever's watching. And I'm excited that next time you come on this podcast, where would you have evolved in your journey? All right. So, where can people find you on
On
LinkedIn?
LinkedIn or on and Nabiha Sheikh on LinkedIn, and Nabiha S4 on Twitter. So yeah, these are the two places I'm publicly, you know, can be found.
All right.
Yeah. So
Amazing.
thank you, Sana. Thank you for having, um interesting conversation. I did not expect this kind of, the direction of the this podcast. It was amazing. It was super, natural. Everything was, very fun for me. Amazing experience. Thank you, Sana. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I had an amazing time speaking to you as well. All right.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye.